There are a lot of videos out there about how to get the best start in this game, or how to get the best armor, or the best money making tips, but not for any normal player wanting a normal playthrough. So here are 10 tips to help you at the start of KCD2 that are actually helpful for a normal playthrough.
Stuck up Lord of Perkstein.
There is a lot of ground to cover when you first get into open play, and doing it on foot can be slow. Trust me, I know this myself. There are quests that have you traverse across the whole starting area, so the obvious solution is fast travel, which in my opinion is pretty rubbish. It takes away from the game. But there is also something else that took me far too long to figure out where you can get them from. Yep, and that's horses. You can buy a horse. Now I thought this was going to set me back quite a few groschen, but it turns out you can buy pebbles for less than 200 groschen. Pebbles is the horse you were riding in on at the opening of the game. Forewarning though, NPCs will have a lot to say about pebbles, and not a lot of it will be good either.
This must be the ugliest horse I've seen in my life.
But it's kind of necessary to own a horse to really get you going in the game. You can find pebbles at the Samin stables. Just talk to this guy and he'll sort you out. Dodging is something that I've not seen a lot of people talk about, but it is a very useful skill that can save you a lot of damaged armor in the early game. If you want to use heavy weapons, it's also a great way to get openings on enemies. To be fair, it's useful for almost any weapon type. Getting a perfect block and then counter-attacking is great, but dodging is good to be used in conjunction with blocking. It opens up more opportunities that blocking alone can't. It's also great for when there's more than one enemy attacking you. The fluidity allows you to keep space between you and multiple enemies. If you hit a direction key and spacebar, or circle on PlayStation and B on Xbox, you'll perform the dodge. If you go to the blacksmith Radovan in Takov, you can train as an apprentice and get a free piece of armor for Henry once you've done a small part of the questline, and also a free bed to sleep in. You'll learn how to blacksmith, which is actually a lot of fun in the game, and it's a great way to earn some money. Buying some of the sketches and the materials from the blacksmith and then using his shop to make them will increase your craftsmanship skill, and you can sell the items back to him. I use this to gain the coin for better armor and weapons. As you explore, you'll come across more blacksmith shops and merchants that sell different kinds of sketches. Purchase the ones that take your fancy, smith them, and either sell them for a profit or use them yourself. If you want to increase your agility and strength whilst earning some groschen, then archery competitions are the one for you. You can buy a cheap bow from a vendor, get yourself up to the castle, and then go to the quarry where there is an archery competition that you can compete in. Don't worry about winning though, because there are 3 types of difficulty that you can compete in: beginner, experienced, and master. You can enter the competition as many times as you like. You'll have to put a bit of coin in to compete, but if you win, you get it back and some extra. The higher the difficulty, the bigger the entry fee, but also more winnings. By competing, you will naturally gain levels in marksmanship, as it's an archery competition. Side note, the higher your marksmanship skill, the steadier you will be with the bow, but as a bonus, you will also gain agility and strength levels as well. Because of the 3-star increase, you will also gain a couple of main levels, which will give you some extra early perk points to spend across all 4 skills. I went from marksmanship level 7 to level 20 in about a day and a half of in-game play. Having higher strength and agility will make it easier for you to wield other weapon types and increase your stamina, which again helps out with shooting arrows and bolts. It's really worth your time investing in the competition. You'll get coin and skill increases for practically free. It took me a while to figure the skills out. So to break it down, primary stats, which include strength, agility, vitality, and speech. If your strength levels up, you will gain a perk point to use within the strength skill stat. The more you progress within a skill, the more perks will be available for you to use your points on. Secondary stats are affected by how you dress, the armor you wear, how clean you are, and your main stats. For example, if you're wearing a lot of heavy armor, you're going to create more noise, or if you're wearing bright colored clothes, then you're less conspicuous than if you're wearing darker ones. These kind of things will affect your current secondary stats. Now skills are increased by doing things such as brewing potions, smithing weapons, successfully stealing, and hunting and gathering. Again, each time you get a perk point in one of the skills, you can spend it on a specific perk for that skill. Finally, combat. Each skill will increase based on what weapon type you use. For example, using swords a lot will increase the sword skill. You will gain a perk point, and then you can spend that on a perk that will regain you some stamina after performing a combo. That's just one of the options with swords. This is just a general overview, and you can read about each one individually to find out even more about skills and stats. Make sure to explore the full area. Now this one may seem totally obvious, however I was worried that if I strayed too far then the game would take me to a completely new area, so I stayed central. It doesn't take you to a new area, by the way. There was a lot more side quests and interactions that I missed out on by doing this, so get moving across the whole entire area. KCD2 has so much to explore. I spent 40 hours just in the area that I was exploring, and there would have been at least 20 more if I'd have gone all out. There are so many weapons, armor, and miscellaneous items throughout the map that you can sell if you are short on some coin or use to better outfit Henry. As a bonus tip, I found a lot of high value armor and weapons are on bandits. They are usually attacking villagers or have a camp along the side of the road. I found a helmet worth 2,000 groschen. Once you have a basic armor set or even leveled up marksmanship, be sure to take out all the bandits you come across. Buy the marigold decoction recipe. This potion is your way to heal whilst out and about. It's easy to make and only requires 1 nettle and 2 marigold flowers. The ingredients can be found all around the map. You can go into your inventory and select the ingredient and push A on PC, which will then show more information about where you can find the flower or herb. It's 150 groschen for the recipe, and you can get it from the apothecary in Troskowitz. You can also use the very first apothecary table you come across to get some big gains in the alchemy skill. There are plenty of herbs around this area, and you can make a lot of chamomile potions to boost your skill level up and then sell those potions in Troskowitz. It should give you a good chunk of change to start with, and once your skill level is high enough in alchemy, you can make a level above strong, which sells for more, and if you couple this with a perk that doubles the amount of potions you make at once, you'll be rolling in the groschen in no time. Use smokehouses to extend the life of your food. Anytime you're in the woods and come across some wolves, make sure to kill them and butcher them for their meat, then take the meat to a smokehouse and smoke it. This will increase the amount of time before the meat spoils, and when you butcher a wolf or two, you tend to get a lot of meat from them. There are many different types of meat, not just wolf. You can also dry out food as well to increase the lifespan. The same applies to herbs for drying as well, but if you then use dried herbs in alchemy, they aren't as effective and you'll be less likely to make a stronger potion. Something to keep in mind, but it's definitely worth having a few smoked meats and dried herbs if you know you'll be going on a long journey. You can save 3 outfits at one time. If you open your inventory menu and look on the right hand side of the screen, you'll see Henry's current outfit. Look just below this and you'll see a shield symbol. If you click to the right or left, you can then change your current outfit. You can also push O on PC as well. Why is this useful? Well, if you know you're going to be out sneaking around at night and doing some light thievery, then it's good to have an outfit that will blend in with the night and doesn't make much noise. On the other hand, if you know you'll be storming a camp full of bandits, you'll want as much armor on as possible, and you can save this into a different slot. I tend to favor an armor set, a sneak set, and a general use set. Usually the general use set has some high quality clothes, but have a play around and see what works for you. Tomcat. If you're into swords, this is your guy. There are plenty of other trainers around that can help increase your skills, but Tomcat can teach you the Master Strike, once you defeat him in a duel that is. The Master Strike is an unblockable attack you can do with swords. It's used as a counter attack without having to do a block. To perform it, all you need to do is time your attack to coincide with the moment your opponent initiates their strike, attack from the opposite side of your opponent's incoming attack direction, execute the move when the green shield icon appears in the center of the reticule, which ensures you get a successful counter attack. You can find Tomcat in the Nomad camp here. just make sure to complete his quest line. And speaking of quests, as an added bonus tip, most of the side quests will have their own full little storyline to them, and when you get to the end, you'll receive a decent amount of money and extra loot. I'd recommend tracking down a gameskeeper stuck in a tree. Make sure you follow that one through. It's actually a good story with a few surprises on the way. Either way, invest in the side quests. I hope these tips help get you on your way with KCD2. They're not going to get you a million groschen or the best armor straight away. I'm sure you'll agree getting that takes the fun out of the game, but what these tips will do is get you on your way to exploring everything it has to offer. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon so you don't miss the next episode. Thanks for watching.